Og grunt. Og tired. Og has 17 browser tabs open, a project due yesterday, a LinkedIn message he's been about to reply to for 6 days, and a gym routine he hasn't touched since the last ice age. Sound familiar? Because if you clicked on this video, there's a good chance you're running on caffeine, good intentions, and the desperate hope that staying busy is the same thing as being productive. Og used to believe that too, working harder, downloading every app, Notion, Obsidian, ClickUp. Og had them all, and still finished every Friday feeling behind. Then something changed. Og stopped using AI as a tool and started using it as a second brain. And everything, the overwhelm, the blank Monday mornings, the why am I redoing this again spiral, stopped. Here's what nobody's telling you. Most people are using AI the way cavemen used fire, just to see if it looks cool. Write me an email, summarize this, basic, surface level, and you're leaving hours on the table every single week. In this video, Og is going to show you 4 concrete AI workflows, not apps, not tools, workflows that actually change how you think, plan, create, and build. And by the end, you'll understand the difference between someone who uses AI and someone who uses AI well. That gap, it's growing fast. Stay with Og. Let Og tell you something real. About 18 months ago, life was a quiet disaster. Not dramatic, just invisible. Every Monday started with a big list, a highlighter, and a productivity playlist. By Wednesday, total fog. By Friday, survival mode. Repeat forever. The worst part? Og was working more than everyone around him. More hours, more effort, less results. If you've ever felt like you're sprinting on a treadmill that's going nowhere, that's it. That's the meme. And it's not funny when you're living it. Here's the thing they don't teach in uni or in your first job. Working harder and thinking smarter are not the same thing. Og was maxing out the first one and completely ignoring the second. Then one afternoon, instead of asking AI to do something, Og asked it to think with him. Just one conversation, and that's when the cable went in. That was the upgrade. And here's the first workflow that started everything. Every productivity guru will tell you to plan your week. What they don't tell you is how, without spending half of Sunday anxious about it. Og's solution is a workflow called the Brain Dump Weekly. One prompt every Monday morning, before email, before Slack, before anything. It goes like this. You open your AI and you type, here are my goals for the week. Here's what carried over from last week. Here are my meetings. Help me build a realistic daily plan with one priority per day and focus blocks that match my actual energy. That's it. What comes back is a structured, honest plan that accounts for the human being you actually are, not the superhero you think you'll be at 9 a.m. on a Monday. The AI asks follow-up questions. It spots conflicts. It notices that you cannot deep work for 5 hours and attend 4 back-to-back video calls. It's like having a chief of staff who doesn't charge $400 an hour. The relatable version? You know the Sunday night planner meme? Big list, color coding, motivational quote at the top versus the Wednesday afternoon existential crisis meme. This workflow kills that cycle dead. 5 minutes of structured thinking on Monday saves 10 hours of scattered thinking across the week.
Try it this Monday. One prompt, that's all. Here's the thing the content world doesn't say out loud. Writing from a blank page is a trap. Not because you're not creative, but because starting from zero every single time is exhausting, inefficient, and completely unnecessary. Og's content workflow solves this in 3 steps. Step 1, voice to text a raw brain dump. Just talk. Don't edit, don't filter, just unload whatever's in your head about the topic. Step 2, paste it into your AI and say, turn this into a YouTube script outline, a LinkedIn post, and a short email newsletter. Write it for a tired 24-year-old who's procrastinating instead of reading this. Step 3, review, tweak, post. 3 formats, 1 brain dump, done before the coffee gets cold. The technique here is specificity. Always tell the AI who you're writing for. Generic prompts give you generic output. Specific prompts give you content that actually sounds like a human wrote it. The AI isn't replacing your voice, it's amplifying it. Think of it like a thought-to-output converter. The ideas are still yours. The AI just cuts the translation time from 3 hours to 20 minutes. That's 4 extra hours a week, a whole afternoon reclaimed. And if you're a student or early career professional trying to build a personal brand without burning out, this workflow is the one. Start with 1 piece of content this week, 1 brain dump. See what comes out. Nobody reads everything. Nobody. If someone tells you they've read all the research on a topic, they're either lying or they haven't slept since 2022. The real skill isn't isn't reading more, it's synthesizing faster. And this is where AI as a second brain becomes genuinely unfair. Here's Ogg's research workflow. Paste an article, report, or long document into your AI and say, give me 5 key insights, 1 surprising fact, and 1 question I should be asking that most people aren't. Then, and this is the trick, take insight number 3 and ask, what's the strongest counter-argument to this? Now you're not just summarizing, you're thinking critically. You're stress testing ideas before you open your mouth in a meeting. You know that moment where someone references a report and everyone nods like they've read it? Nobody has read it. With this workflow, you actually have. Or better, you've processed it, which is more valuable. The person who shows up having thought 3 levels deeper than everyone else in the room doesn't necessarily work harder. They just ask 1 more question. That's the whole trick. Never stop at the summary. 1 more question is where the real thinking lives. This is the workflow most people skip, and skipping it is why they keep redoing the same work forever. It's called process documentation, and it sounds painfully boring right up until you realize it's basically cloning your best self and saving it for a rainy day. Here's how it works. Every time Ogg does something new, writes a script, plans a campaign, researches a topic, he takes the output and says to his AI, help me turn what I just did into a repeatable step-by-step process I can hand to a future version of myself. The AI structures it, Ogg saves it. Next time that task comes around, it's not starting from scratch. It's running a proven playbook. This is the compound interest of productivity. You don't feel it after 1 week, but 3 months in, you have a personal operating system.
A set of documented workflows that make your worst days look like your average days. For anyone building a career, a side hustle, or a freelance practice, this is how you scale without hiring a team. The secret to consistency isn't motivation, it's systems, and AI helps you build them faster than you ever could alone. Document now. The version of you 6 weeks from now will either be very grateful or very tired. Choose wisely. 4 workflows: weekly brain dump planning, AI-powered content creation, deep research synthesis, process documentation. None of these require a premium subscription to 15 different apps. None of them require you to be technical. They require one thing: deciding to stop using AI like a fancy search engine and starting to use it like the thinking partner it actually is. The biggest myth in productivity is that you need more willpower. You don't. You need better systems. And right now, AI is the most powerful system-building tool available to anyone with a laptop and an internet connection. The gap between people who understand this and people who don't is widening every single month. Ogg doesn't want you on the wrong side of that gap. If this video helped you think differently, even slightly, by hitting subscribe and leave a like, not because the algorithm demands a blood sacrifice, although Ogg won't say no, but because the next video in this series will go even deeper with ideas to take your productivity to the next level of everything covered today, and you genuinely don't want to miss it.